Hey everyone, my name is Adam Berardi. I'm a cinematographer and a documentary filmmaker, and today I want to show you how I rigged out my Zcam E2 M4. Let's get started. Now, like most people, when I got my Zcam, I knew it was just a box and it didn't have anything that came with it, no real monitor to speak of except that little 1-inch monitor on top, but I didn't really understand how difficult it would be to find things to rig out my Zcam with. That's gotten a little bit easier over the last 2 years or so. It's still my 8 I love this camera, but it took me a while to figure out the things I needed to make this camera the best it could possibly be. First of all, the battery size on these things. You had a few different options for batteries. One of the options you have is the L series batteries. You can buy these generic on Amazon. They're not very expensive. However, I have to tell you that these batteries don't last very long. We did a shoot, Pocket Man and Cargo Boy 3, and on that shoot, these batteries would last for about 35 minutes max, and we were constantly switching out batteries. It was a real difficult time. I really wish I had the next option that you see on my camera now. Back then, as you see, for the replacement battery, I've elected to buy the BP 115. They have them in 95s. I believe they have them in 150s as well. The 115 was a good trade-off for size and form, and it's a little heavy, but it works pretty well. And if you'll notice on the sides, not only does it have a plug for a D-tap, but also one for USB, which is awesome. You can power your monitor like I have here. The monitor that I'm using is a best view monitor. It's a touch screen and it has all the extras attached to it. I like it a lot. I know it's huge, but I have horrific eyesight, so I like a big monitor with focus peaking and all of those great things in it, and this one has it. You might choose to get a different type of monitor. There's a lot of really great, like the Atomos series. They're great recording monitors that can also, again, can also record. For me, I didn't need all that, so I actually sold my Atomos and just got this. It's much easier for me to use. I love it. It's light. It doesn't take a lot of battery power, and I can plug it into my battery, so that works really well for me. I bought a cage for my camera so I could hook up a lot of different things to it. So my cage is a Neats cage, and it comes with a top handle, and that way I can put my monitor on the top, or if I like to, I could actually use any one of these mounting holes on the side, and I can use any one of the mounts I have and stick it on the side of this if I want to put, for instance, a microphone on top that uses a cold shoe mount, or anything that uses a cold shoe mount. For this, I use my monitor. When I'm doing professional video, there's usually external audio, so I just use the audio that the camera provides as scratch audio. I got a V-mount adapter from Tilta. It works really, really well for me. It's a low profile V-mount adapter. You can also get one that's a little bit further out. I got the low profile one because I wanted to be closer to the camera. Little did I know that if I did that, I wouldn't be able to stick an HDMI cable in the back, a normal size one. So you'll notice I have a very low profile HDMI cable, which they're really inexpensive, 25 to 40 bucks off Amazon. They're a little more expensive if you want one that's rated for 4K. I shoot a lot in 4K, so that's just something that I had to have. It works amazing. I bought a bunch of these in case I break one. This one hasn't broke in over a year, and I use it all the time, so I think that's a great option. Another drawback to this low profile V-mount is that I can't use the USB-C port in the back. I've looked everywhere for a USB-C plug that will fit. It does not, so I don't use any external recording media. However, it does come with a CFast slot, and the CFast media that you can use for this, I use the Cinema Pro. This one is, I think it's a 128. I also have two 56s. They're fast, they're great for 4K. I never have a drop frame, super easy to put in. And usually CFast is pretty expensive. They're getting cheaper and cheaper as time goes on. You can find great specials, sometimes especially for Black Friday on like Adorama or B&H Photo, or you can pick up these on Amazon as well. And they're not really expensive anymore as they used to be. And they're pretty convenient to carry around. So instead of carrying around a T7 with you and having to put a mount on the side for that, these are pretty inexpensive. And when you start looking at the cost of a T7 plus a mount, plus the cables versus this, I'm slowly finding myself only wanting to use these now. Now these Zcam E2s, they come with the option that you can change the mount out. I have the micro four thirds mount on mine because I have a lot of micro four thirds lenses, and it's a micro four thirds sensor. So it just makes sense that if you have these lenses and you don't want to buy any extra lenses, just get the mount for the micro four thirds, or sometimes it actually comes with it so you don't have to change it out. Now for lenses, I love the Rokinon lenses. They're a cine lens, they're all manual, but they work really, really well. They're super fast and they give you a great cinema look on a micro four thirds sensor. Now some people will tell you that you can go ahead and get a regular lens like you'd use for a mirrorless camera or a DSLR, and this is a very unpopular view. I understand that, but for me, I don't really care for those lenses. Like for instance, this is an Olympus lens. It's a 14 to 150. I have used this on this camera and my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, but I've noticed that the image quality out of these lenses, even in a more expensive one like Olympus, isn't as good as the Rokinon lens. Again, the Rokinon lens is just much faster. It can let more light into that sensor than these can. However, you know, there's trade-offs. This can go to 14 to 150. These are prime lenses. The Rokinons are prime lenses. So, I mean, you have to kind of make that trade-off. Do you want to have a bunch of lenses in your kit that you have to carry around, or just one run and gun lens? I've used this before on sets. I've used it on events. However, if I had the choice, I would have picked the Rokinon. I just didn't have that option at the time. I had to zoom in and zoom out very quickly, and I needed something that had electronic focus on it that can communicate with the Z-Cam, and this can do it. Most of the Olympus lenses can do this, and I do like it a lot. However, it's just not the same cinema quality that I'd want out of a lens, and so that's why I always choose the Rokinon. And for me, this is a perfect trade of form and function. It's still pretty light. I can carry it around. I can go handheld. I can put it on a tripod. Do all the things I want to do with a cinema camera. And you know, maybe you find things that you like that you want to put on it. And that's the great part about the Z-Cam series, is that it's very modular. You can do so much with it, and there's so many options, and you can get a great picture out of it. So that's it, guys. That's the way I rig out my Z-Cam E2 M4. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. If you have a way that you like that you think might be better than mine, or you want to share with others, please go ahead and submit it in the comments below. I love to see that kind of stuff, and it gives me great ideas for things I can do with my cameras in the future. If you like what you saw today, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, bye.